Hello folks, it's me, RH131, and we're back again playing World of Tanks Blitz. Today we're going to be trying out the Tier 7 tank destroyer, the sturdy Emil. Judging by that name, you can obviously tell it's a German tank destroyer. Part of the new Grill 15 line, Tier 7 version of that line. Coming up from the Nashorn, it's different in pretty much every category except for the armor, which is shit, as it is for the entire line. But it's even more shit than the Nashorn in most of the categories. See, the Nashorn, you get an accurate, rapid-firing 8mm gun, you get some decent camouflage, and some pretty good mobility. And the sturdy Emil says, fuck all that shit, we're gonna have shit mobility, shit camouflage, and shit armor. And really the only thing you get is this 128mm gun, which, yeah, it's a good gun. Just shaved off half the health of that Comet with a single shot. Unfortunately, because of the shit camouflage, I just lost 2/3 of my health taking that shot. But the other thing the sturdy Emil gets is gun depression, 15 degrees of it. So you can literally point this gun down at the ground in front of the tank because of the gun depression. Also, the penetration on this 128, very good. Now, the downside of that is you only get 12 rounds of it. So I've gone with a 9-3 loadout, 9 AP, 3 HE. You don't get any APCR because it's a 128. It's a Tier 7 128. What are you going to need APCR for? It can pretty much pen everything you come across. You don't need APCR. Like I was saying, you don't need any APCR for anything that's a non-Russian tank that you come across. So, we're going to pretend that never happened. Going to aim that again, and that one went through. And like I said, you gotta watch, you only get 12 rounds of ammunition. So I'm going to, instead of using the AP round, that T-30-45 does not have a lot of health, and he's got really thin armor, and HE does damage based on the thickness of the armor, so that HE round was able to, we splashed it on his hull, able to finish him out. And we're gonna probably have to use another HE round, because there is that M4 up there, that E8, he's gonna rush the Tiger P, and if I can aim this shot in about a second, there we go, able to save the Tiger P's life. Now, it's at this point where we gotta stop for a minute, and we gotta look at the situation we're in, because while the statistics right now are saying it's a 5-2 game, that is nowhere near the truth, because if you look around me, we have a one-shot kill Tiger P, a one-shot kill Jackson, I believe, and I'm a one-shot kill, and the only thing that's full health is this Tiger that's camped back, and what is he doing right now? Okay, so maybe we should not trust the Tiger P, or the Tiger 1 to do anything. Why would I say the Tiger P? The Tiger P actually did shit. So let's not trust that guy. So pretty much, I'm, at this point, yeah, there goes the Tiger P. So we've got a retarded Tiger 1, and a one-shot Jackson and me. And the first shot on that KV-13 missed, we're able to re-aim it. That one will go through. Now, I'm completely assured at this point that Tiger 1 is retarded. He's rushing the cap circle. He's literally letting this Comet farm damage off of his tank. And I think that the KV-13 is firing HE. He's firing HE at the front of a Tiger 1. Why would you do that? Like, I don't understand it. Well, the KV-13 just went off the cliff. Amazingly, he survived, but judging from the things we've seen Russian tanks do in this match, that doesn't surprise me. Luckily, this Comet's so happy that this Tiger is showing him every weak spot on his tank that he's not paying attention around him, and yep, that gun's not pointed at me. Gun depression saved me, and there we go. He's now a one-shot, and oh my god, oh no, that was the Jackson. I thought the Tiger 1 actually did something for a minute. That would be a mistake. The Tiger 1 has not done anything except become a massive hit point pinata for the entirety of the enemy team, and by entirety of it, I mean 2 tanks. He lost pretty much 1,300 hit points to 2 tanks, both of which were pretty much one-shots when he got near them. So we're going to finish that. Just look at the gun depression on this thing. Like I said, you can literally point this gun directly in front of the tank on the ground. And we're able to finish that match off with around 2,000, 2,500 damage. Pretty good game. you don't really need to fire a lot of shots with this 128 to do a large amount of damage. Pretty much 3 shots you're guaranteed to, as long as you're not shooting at tanks that don't have a lot of health. If you're shooting at like full health or half health tanks, you're pretty much guaranteed to do over 1,000 damage within 3 shots of this 128. You should see there, 10 shots fired, 9 hits, 8 penetrations. We're not going to talk about that bounce. That bounce is going down in the books as the many things that are wrong with this game. So, moving on from that, as you see there, we only really stole one of those kills, which was the one on the, well, I guess 2, because the KV, well, I shot the KV-13 once, we're not going to call that kill steal, we'll just say the E8 was the kill steal. So, moving on, we're going to sit in this queue for a bit, and I think next up is Desert Sands, or Oasis Palms, that's what it is, they're desert maps, to get them mixed up. And we're top tier again, so that's always nice. Whenever you're, it really doesn't matter, bottom or top tier in this, you're still going to get penetrated by everything. But it's going to take more shots to kill higher tier tanks with this gun, and that's really where you run into the problem of the ammunition. And that's why it's very important to conserve your ammunition throughout the battle. You don't want to be using a AP shell to finish off tanks that have less than 100 health unless it's a really strongly armored tank. If you're fighting, say maybe an AT-15A or something armored, AT-7 perhaps, but even then, the gun is got such a high caliber that it can really do a lot of that damage with HE. So you really your best bet is to fire AP at anything over 100 hit points, but anything less than 100 hit points, especially mediums or such like that, you're going to want to fire HE, and it's going to help you carry once your team inevitably dies around you. The other important thing to note while playing this tank, and you're going to see a lot of it, me doing it in this match, is in order to fully harness the capabilities of this tank, you have to use your gun depression. This is the only tank in the game, besides maybe the Comet, and even the Comet you've got the problem of the gun depression doesn't depress quite enough, but with this thing, the gun is so long and the gun depression is good enough that you can literally fight this thing almost like a 45-degree angle over a ridgeline. And it's really important that you utilize that gun depression. So as you see here, we're going out in the dunes, and what we're about to see me doing here is, you see this, if you look at this dune right here, there's some tanks over there by the cap. So we're going to get behind the dune, we're going to turn the tank around, and we're going to drive up the dune, like so. And we're going to do it so you see how much, I even have extra gun depression. I could point my gun down further than I already have to get over this dune. And there's KV-1S right there. Going to put one into him, shave off half his health. Whenever you hit a tier 6 tank with this, unless it's something that has a lot of health like a TOG, you're going to shave half its health off, no problem in one shot. Really, tier 7s, I believe in one match I 3-shot a KV-13, did 1,300 damage to him, 3 shots. And that wasn't with an ammo rack or fire or anything, just three regular RNG shots. So your damage, your alpha damage potential is very good. And I ranked this tank above the SU-152, the tier 7 Russian tank destroyer. I rank it above that because of the penetration. With the SU-152, you have to either spam heat to penetrate anything, or you got to be shooting at the rear tanks with HE in that. With this tank, you've got the penetration to go through. Just look at that size of KV-13 there. It did about 575, something like that, with the fire that I set to him. And I really couldn't have done that with an SU-100 unless I was an SU-152 unless I was firing a heat round because of the tracks. And even then, there was a good chance that the tracks might actually absorb that shot. Now, we've pretty much narrowed this game down to the wire. We've pretty much brought, I think there's that SU right there, and we're going to borrow that kill. Thank you. And see there in town, we've got an IS on about half health. And he's reversing, and he's doing it really slowly. We might be able to squeeze a shot off here. And, yep, you know, with the results of the last match, that does not surprise me at all. And I really don't think we're going to get another shot off on that. Just too much. Too many of our team tanks are still alive. And he's going to get killed by a fire. So, we finished that match. We got 3 kills. Didn't do nearly as much damage as we did the previous match, but we survived and we won. So that's all you can really ask for in this tank. It's really not a good tank by any means, but it doesn't have to be a terrible tank. If you can learn how to play it, you're actually going to find that it's actually a fun tank to play. I have good fun playing mine. After I got the 128, of course, stock this thing is a piece of shit and you shouldn't mess with it. And then you see there, 5 shots, 4 hits, 4 penetrations, and we still managed to pick up about 1,500 damage. And you compare that with some of the other, like I believe one of their stereo mills, the one that has 1,000 damage there. Yeah, he only had 3 penetrating shots, and he still did 1,000 damage in that game. So it's pretty easy to see that when you've got a tank like this that can do about 1,000 damage in a single shot, you've got a good, or not single shot, what am I talking about? In like 3 shots, it's a good damage output. And while it might not be the best sniping TD, it's definitely good at working ridge lines. So if you can get this tank into a position where you can take advantage of a hill and just get into positions where your enemy would not be expecting you to be shot at from, you really, as long as you can do that, you're going to have a good time. And that's really all there is to playing the Emil. It's mainly about getting through this last hurdle because the Borsig is a very, 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 very good tank at tier 8. Also, one final note, reason no Clan Wars video this week was, again, we had another clan that did not show up to fight us. It is what it is. Hopefully next week we'll have that sorted out. I'm gonna try and get another video out this week before the Clan Wars video on Saturday. It's just hard. I just started school back about 2 weeks ago, so time is not something that I have a lot of. But I'm gonna work to get another video put out. It'll probably be on. I'm thinking it's gonna be either on the Cheeto or the AT-15. We'll see whatever I can get a better game in. So, to recap, stereo mill, use the gun depression, and use your alpha damage, because a 128mm gun at tier 7 is amazing. With the penetration, it's a very good gun. And that's really what the entirety of the German tank destroyer line is about. It's about the gun. And on that note, that's going to be all for today, folks, and I'll see you next time.